Okay, Shalom. Let's give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles, great millstone, the elders of GMS, and salutation to the Akim that's pushing this truth. Israelite foreigners, faith-based Israelites. This microchip is becoming more and more widespread. You're seeing it more and more in the news. And at the same time, you still have this this huge campaign to debunk the RFID chip being the mark of the beast. And I have here this little pamphlet thing that was handed to me Monday when I'm out teaching on the highways and the byways by this crackpot Christian who, when you watch the video, when I'm out there on the highways and the byways, you can hear it, you can see that he totally denied that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. But they would acknowledge that the government's behind 9/11. They will acknowledge that the government's behind poisoning the people, the chemtrails and poisoning the water. And they won't deny any of that, but they will deny the actual prophecy that's in the Bible that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. So plainly, the Lord's not dealing with them, you know. But he handed me this pamphlet. It says the mark of the beast. What is it and how can I avoid it? But in here, they're saying, reading the pamphlet itself, it says there are two groups of people in the church, true Christians and false Christians. Right there, they're not being scriptural. You know, the scriptures mention Israelites. It's mentioning Israelites. All right. It also mentions in in Romans 9 how they of Israel are not of Israel. You know, and they that are not of Israel are those that are in a Gentile state of mind that pretty much are enemies to this truth. Okay, Matthew 13:28 says, and this is one of the scriptures that they're bringing to our attention, true and false Christians. Let me get this real quick. I'm reading it here in my Bible. Chapter 13, verse 28 through 30 says, he said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servants said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together unto the harvest, and in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Right there you can see clearly they don't understand scripture, because that's talking about actual Edomites looking like Israelites and Israelites looking like Edomites. You know, they clearly don't understand the scriptures. But reading on, while it is not always possible to distinguish a true Christian from a false one, you know, through the Spirit, and actually it's the angels that's going to do the reaping when the time comes. But, you know, the thing is, the Most High didn't put the Spirit in us of confusion. We can actually, we have that gift of reading spirits and knowing damn well who's an Israelite and who's not. It's not actually a difficult thing, because an Israelite, if it's an Israelite, you know, and I know an Israelite can grow up, an actual Israelite can grow up around nothing but Edomites his whole life. And imagine somebody growing up around Edomites their whole life, and by the time they're 21, how they're going to act and behave, you know? They're going to take on that. I mean, they're still an Israelite, but they're going carry a lot of those characteristics of those Edomites that they're around. You know, they're gonna act just like them. You know, but the thing is that spirit still remains there. You know, the spirit will still remain there. It's an Israelite, and an Israelite, hey, you can't fake the funk. You can't fake being an Israelite, but we can damn sure act like those heathens. You know. So again, the Most High had. I'm reading this damn pamphlet. I'm going back into this damn pamphlet because I'm going to get to the point where they don't actually know where they're going off on what the RFID chip is. Okay, it says God has designed a way to separate the two classes in the final days of his what it cuts off of our final days of history, just before Jesus came back. It mentions Jesus in here again, another proof that they don't have the truth. Okay, it says God will institute a plan that will finally separate the true from the false. This amazing plan is the mark of the beast. Now, saying that don't mean they're they're right. I'm not going to say that, you know, because having some truth mixed with some falsehood, that just voids it all out. You know, it literally voids it all out. So these people do not have the truth. They do not have understanding, you know. So it says, okay, the amazing plan is the mark of the beast. It says, according to the Bible, as the world nears its end, and an issue will arise which will polarize all people into two groups. And that's the thing with that world there. They don't understand. They think the whole world is going to end. You already know what Yahweh Shai say about the world. This world's going to, the scripture says the earth will abide forever. And that's exactly what the scripture says. All right. So it says, according to the Bible, as the world near its end and they don't realize that world is as far as the Bible goes, is referring to the era. The word we're looking for is era. It's the end of an era. It says, an issue will arise which will polarize all people into two groups. And all people. See, there's another. They're going off again to all people, man. You know, all people. The whole focal point of the nation is the nation of Israel. It's the Israelites, not all people on this planet. Even though Israelites is still scattered amongst all nations, the point is all Israelites. You know, whether they mixed amongst other nation or look like the true Israelites with melanin. Okay, it says, this issue will not only separate true and false Christians, but it will force all people to make a decision for or against Christ. At that time, all who have been wavering in their belief will be forced to choose their eternal destiny. So it's important to understand what this mark involves. In order to understand what the mark of the beast involves, we must study some of the key words of the prophecy. Revelation 14:9, 10 says, let's get it. You know, let me pull it up on here instead. There's a reason why I got this Matthew 2 also, but let's go to Revelation. Oh, Salaki, it's 14 I want. Okay, 14:9. It's talking about the destruction, I already know. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So right here, I'm reading in the pamphlet, it says, in order to understand what the mark of the beast involves, we must study some of the key words of the prophecy. And obviously they didn't study a damn thing. Because, like I said, going back to 9, the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Okay. Now, if they would have studied it, they would have known. But like the scripture says, men having eyes and and see not, and ears they hear not. You know? See there, the word there is charagma. This ain't hard to understand. Charagma, a stamp or an imprinted mark, which is going off of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of a followers of the Antichrist, the mark branded upon horse, things carved, sculptured, graven work, an idolatrous image. See, this is, I think they done changed this. This is kind of funny. This is wild. It wasn't always it didn't always say that. I'm gonna have to go to Mark and the blue letter, not the blue letter, but the Mark and Mark under the etymology. Let me go to etymology. Let me go to an etymology. Do I have etymology pulled up already? Okay, no, I don't. See, the devil's clever, man. They changed that. I didn't always say that. It did say that, but it actually had the actual what a mark was. Devil's at work, man. While these niggas is out fooling around, the devil's at work doing his thing. You know? The whole thing is the devil's at work trying to change this truth. He has to do what he has to do. You know? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to the let me go to Revelation 13. Let me go to Revelation 13. Let me go to Revelation 13 and then look up Mark then. Slow. Let's go to Revelation 13. Let's look up Mark here. Okay, let's go to Revelation 13 here. Let's see what Mark says here. It's still charagma. Still charagma. Yeah. Yeah, see, it's still going off. Okay, let's go back to the etymology now. Let's see if we can find it in there. Well, see, we already know what the mark is. We already know. You can't fool us. They can go through this big campaign to, you know, to change words, the meaning of words, and they've been doing that. Okay. Now. To put a mark on, Old English, Martian, West Saxon, to trace out boundaries, and Late English, make a mark or marks on from point, observe, remark, to limit, plan out, mark, note, set a mark, it doesn't say. Figurative sense of designate, as if by placing a mark on, hence to destine is from excuse me. Yeah, they're changed. They changed it. Unless I'm missing it. Well, they can change the meaning all they want, because what I have here, what happened to it? Here we go. What I have here. Will microchip implants be the next big thing in Europe? Microchip implants. And you already know this thing is huge, man. You know, with them trying to change the meaning of words, it don't matter. It's the evidence is proof in itself with the, you know, that this technology is the mark of the beast. You know, because what does the scripture says? To receive a mark it says in their right hand or in their forehead. So I'm going back to this damn pamphlet this devil gave me, man. Okay, I don't know what they're talking about. Next big thing in Europe. The scripture mentions that all. It mentions all. That means they plan on instituting this over the whole planet Earth, man. The whole planet Earth. So going back to this damn pamphlet. Okay, Revelation 14, 9 and 10. You know, it's obviously just talking about an implant. It says in their hand or in their. It says in. Okay. It says, if anyone worship the beast and its image and receive his mark, it says on in this pamphlet, it says on. And remember, these people read the New King James Version, or they read, that's the one thing I've noticed most was actually the New King James Version. They changed a lot of the words. But it says on his forehead or on his hand. You see? They have to do these. They have to do this deceit, this massive campaign of changing, you know, because that makes them guilty of revelation, adding on and taking away out of this book. So really, just them printing up this bullshit, they're going to actually fall into that same thing as if they did get the mark, you know, for adding on and taking away from this word, pursuant to Revelation 22, the 22nd chapter, man. You know, talking about on. No, it's just in. The scripture says in their right hand or in their forehead. So it says, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. It's the same thing, Satan against Satan, man. You know, this is just the ungodly against Satan, man. You know, the ungodly is just a bunch of damn fools, man. You know, so it says, notice that the mark of the beast revolves around the issue of worship. You know, this tells us that the mark of the beast is ignited by a religious movement or a false religious revival. Prophecy confirms this, you know. And I'm not going to read no more of this shit, because these people are just going off, man. This is amazing, man. I'm always going to keep this. You know, this little thing they gave me, man. Because it's honestly showing that these people are in a totally different state of mind, you know. Their state of mind they're in is just, they're going to reject the truth. And as long as some white devil, some red devil with a suit and tie and drives a fancy car and has a massive church is telling them one thing, then, hey, that's where they're going to go. And the Bible warns you about these people wearing these fly gay, the scriptures call them gay apparel, gay suits, you know. You know you can't trust anyone like this. But let me read some of this here. Will microchip implant be the next big thing in Europe? Thousands of Swedes have been pioneering the use of futuristic microchips that are implanted under the skin of the hand. You see what I'm saying? Just like the scripture says, in their right hand or in their hand, in their forehead or in their hand. In, that's the key, in. So here we are. The actual meaning of a mark is is to implant the stick, to stick in, to stick under, to stick in, you know. So it's just not going to be a European thing. This is going to be a worldwide thing. That's why you see the world right now going through an economic hell, man, economic turmoil. You know, jobs been lost, companies and small businesses which carry the back of each nation on its backbone shutting down. And, man, this is beautiful. It's all prophecy, man. This is all prophecy. It says the technology is used for everyday tasks like accessing your smartphone opening the front door or setting an alarm. It just shows you how lazy these people are, and especially those that want to embrace this technology when it becomes mandatory. Because you got to understand, there's there's going to be millions of people that's going to embrace this technology. Because we've been told, you know, face to face that, oh, you know, how a lot of these people, they didn't refuse getting it. They actually said they're going to get it, you know. So that it says those behind the microchips, the size of a rice grain and implanted via syringe, are working to access other parts of Europe. Eric Larson, who leads Biohacks Italia, is waiting for approval in Italy for medical centers and the health ministry. He said he expects to implant a chip into about 2,500 people in the first 6 or 8 months in Milan and Rome. Now, when did this come out? This is the 12th of May, which is, what's today's date? 13th? Today's the 13th. Came out yesterday. The devil's starting to make his moves, man. Even without health ministry certification, Biohacks Italia has already been able to embed these chips into a few hundred people with the help of a medical center. So this plan is already in motion. You know, people are already receiving this chip already, man. You know, without even coming under that disguise of the COVID vaccine. You know, this COVID vaccine is just an excuse for them to, it's an excuse for them to make it mandatory. You know, these vaccines and, you know, and then the chip. You know, it is a step toward the future. The future. Yeah, it's a step toward the future. All right? It's a step toward the future of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai bringing in the kingdom of heaven. You're right. It is extremely futuristic. It is extremely futuristic, although it is already happening. There it is. It is already happening. This technology was born to help us, to give us small superpowers, Larson told Euronews. No. And you see, the devil, man, like I said, he's deceitful, man. The scripture says he's a physician of no value. There ain't no way in hell this chip is going to help you get in the kingdom of heaven. It's going to get you burnt the hell up. It's going to get you tormented, then burnt the hell up. All right? So I'm not going to go into read no more of this. You know, they go into a lot of excuses on why and this and that. There ain't no excuses to not listen to instructions, you know, and turn your back on the scriptures. You know, it's only the elect that's going to stand stiff and stay strong and endure with long suffering and endure through these hard times with patience, man. And you know, it's only elect. It's the Most High that got the elects back anyway. It don't matter, man. This trial of affliction that we're going to go through, that we've been going through, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that got our back, man. He got our back. He got the elects back, man. You know, especially those of us that are sick and tired of this tyranny, sick and tired of living under this hard bondage, and we're sick and tired of seeing these goddamn devils rule over us and deceit and murder and falsehood and theft and you know, all sorts of different types of abominations, man. We're sick and tired of that shit. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he got our back. He has our back, man. You know, the hell with these goddamn devils. And the hell with 2/3 of these goddamn devils, demons that's going to receive the mark of the beast, man. The hell with them, man. You know? So till next time, Lord willing, shalom.